gentlemen, the one and only Mr. Jerry Springer.
Thank you. Oh, so it's great to be back. Thank you. Hey, nice crowd, and we're going to have a big band tonight.
Yeah.
Huh? Crystal Peterson and the Queen City Band. It's wonderful. You've got to stick around for that. And Jerry also is going to talk about Attorney General Jeff Sessions' ruling dealing with transgender bathrooms. So hold on for that, too, because that needs to be dealt with. Hey, Megan, I'm really excited because, you know,
Tell me why, Gene.
Well, I have another aspect of the business plan for the podcast.
Oh, that's right. Another brilliant idea.
Yes, and it's the elevator comics.
Oh, right.
Yes, and
Don't
I
you get
produced a
excited.
commercial.
No.
I'm one of the elevator comics.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
Well,
he's
you should
one of
get
them.
excited.
Yeah.
And I produced a commercial. I'm very proud of it. And I'm going to ask, this is now running all across America. And I think the calls are going to pour in. Let's set this up. Though,
Alaska and Hawaii as well.
As well, yeah.
Not just the
Oh,
continental.
they'll be real happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Hey, you get on an elevator, Megan, and you ride, you know, maybe typically a couple floors.
Sure.
It's boring as hell.
It is.
Door closed, you just
Get
stand
32
there.
And everyone
seconds, you're
stares
never
at
gonna
the
get
numbers
back.
up there.
Yeah.
Nothing's
Just stare
going on.
straight ahead.
Nothing.
Nobody talks. Nobody looks.
Yeah.
So, and the best elevators have mirrors on the front door, so that for our act, so they can stay
So you
forward.
can look at the front door of the elevator, but because it's reflective, you can see the people behind you.
So Jerry and I are in the back. I'm the straight man. I'm just throwing
You
lines
were in the
to
back.
him.
I was totally in front, in the front right corner. You were in the back left corner.
Good point, Jerry.
And this is important because it didn't look like we were together.
Hey,
Okay.
good point.
Never want to
It
look
was
like you're
a
with Gene in public.
packed-
I
God,
totally
he
get
knows
it.
our act better than I do.
It was
you
a
can tell.
packed elevator, and this
Packed
started
elevator.
without any plan.
No.
Gene being
Gene
stupid
being
as
Gene.
usual.
Yeah, being stupid.
In this crowded elevator, we might say it was the Ritz. So
We
it
might
was pretty
say.
hoity-toity.
It was pretty
You'd
hoity-toity.
never been there before,
I've never
but,
been
you
in
know.
no, I've never been in an elevator, much less the Ritz. Their elevator, much less the Ritz. Yeah.
Gene's way back in the corner, crowd, and you say, yelling across the elevator.
Well, here you can hear. David, play the
okay.
commercial we
Yeah.
produced.
Hey, I'm Jerry Springer.
I'm Gene Galvin.
And we're the Elevator Comics. We perform in some of the best elevators in the country, telling eye-watering jokes in as few as 2 floors. But we once entertained a car full of conventioneers stuck on the 14th floor for 40 minutes.
Call your favorite hotel and tell them that you want the Elevator Comics on your next ride. We're the hottest new act in the laughing world.
I seen Springer and Galvin in a hotel elevator in Jackson, Mississippi, and they was hilarious. The best 2-floor ride of my life.
Hey, Jerry, what were you saying to that guy in the lobby?
He was telling me he just bought the best hearing aid money can buy. I said, yeah, what kind is it? He said 4 o'clock.
The Elevator Comics were fast, topical, and usually family-friendly. But when the sun goes down, so do we. Our sizzling adult set starts nightly at 9.
The Elevator Comics. You'll never take the stairs again.
Guy says to me the other day on one of the rides, ballroom, please. I said, sorry, I didn't know I was crowding you. Okay, 6th floor, folks. Enjoy your stay and call the front desk if you need extra towels. Watch your step getting off. We forgot to pay the insurance bill.
Elevator Comics are brought to you by Up and Down Productions.
I don't think about that at all, Gene.
Well, anyway, that's running.
That's how it started. It was very
That's
innocent.
it. That's
Yeah.
it. And I haven't discussed the numbers yet with Jerry, but I'm having him
financials.
put some money into the financials so we can pay
Yeah.
for these ads.
Why?
We're all
Elevators
across
are free.
America.
Why? Oh, you mean the ads?
We
have
run
to
the
pay
ads,
for.
Jerry, Gene needs more money.
Hey, wouldn't it be funny if we 3 walked into a hotel somewhere, anywhere, pick a hotel, Cincinnati, anywhere around, and said, hey, we're the Elevator Comics,
Yeah.
and here's our pitch. And they go,
Or just here's our bill.
are you serious?
Yeah. Is there a room you could put us up in?
Yeah, just give us
Because
some
I need to get.
complimentary room.
Yeah, well, I need to get dressed for it and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you, you were riding elevators last weekend because I know that you were at the Mystic Lake Casino.
Yeah.
Outside of Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Right. I'm on the tour where The Price is Right. We do the live tour where we do the shows in theaters and casinos across the country.
And what was it like there? And what's that casino like? What
The
was your impression
casino
of it?
is top of the line. It's top of the line. We were in the theater there at the casino, and it sold out 4 shows. All 4 shows were sold out. 3,000 people. I mean, it's beautiful. It's really state of the art. And they want you to do the shows quickly there because obviously they want you to get out of the theater and start gambling.
burn,
Yeah. So I tried to make my jokes not that funny, so because
And I'm sure that had to be a
because-
struggle.
yeah,
I know
because,
that was
yeah,
a struggle.
because it's minutes and minutes of laughter.
Please.
Quick. Yeah.
Hey, and I don't want to interrupt that, but
Yes.
by the way, this
yes, you do.
hey, it just occurred to me.
What, Gene?
What is your wife's favorite
I
wine?
hate you.
I want to go to Miami.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We went to Boca last year.
Hey,
Yes.
the Mystic
She
Lake.
said she wanted to go this summer. She wanted to go someplace she's never been.
Yeah.
I said, try the kitchen. See that? See, I wouldn't say that because that is sexist.
No,
It
it's
is-
horrible.
It is horrible, and I would never say that.
And Mickey's not here tonight.
Exactly.
There it is.
Exactly.
Hey, check this out. You told me you were going to the Mystic Lake Casino to work the Price is Right show, just
You
in
did
conversation.
serious work there, though.
And I thought, I know that place. You asked me, have I ever been to Prior Lake?
Yes.
And I went back, jumped on the internet, and I said, I've been there. And I was there back in the maybe 90s. I was doing, in the summer, some radio reports on the road for WCKY Radio here
Yeah.
in Cincinnati. No longer exists, by the way, under that banner, but nonetheless. So I went to, because back in the mid-'60s, I was a VISTA volunteer on a Native American reservation in northern Minnesota. I trained on a number of reservations. I served on this reservation, the Net Lake Ojibwe up near Canada.
They didn't have casinos yet.
Not yet.
Right.
But then the summer I went out looking around, they had theirs called Fortune Bay, small casino.
Yeah.
I went to 6 or 7 reservations that had casinos, and I was reporting on what's the impact of casinos on reservations. Now, just to back up one step, Native Americans got screwed about as hard as anybody in the world.
Sure.
They lost everything, and they were shoved onto some crap land, and everything was taken, and treaties were broken, and the Black Hills gold was stolen, blah, blah, blah. So when I was going around to these reservations and I was meeting at these casinos with men and women who were running these casinos, and guess who they were? They were young men and women, Native Americans, who had gone off to college and now came back home to run something big.
Yeah.
So they were going to be doing the same thing, Megan, that you do every day, a corporate job with their master's degrees or undergraduate or more, businessmen and women. They told me when I was meeting with one tribe at lunch, they said the term we use is the buffalo are back.
Huh.
Now we've got a resource that only we have because we have sovereign land. So they gave the courts the finger. They pulled it off. It went all the way up the courts, and they were able to pull this off. And then I showed up at that Mystic Lake Casino on the tribe of the Shakopee Midwankatan tribe. They're
That was it.
Sioux.
Yeah.
That's who's
That's
there.
what
Now,
it is. Yeah.
check this out. Where you were, there are about 500 tribe members.
Yeah.
Not thousands.
Right, 500.
A small group.
But they split.
They profit share. And they're profit sharing now, last report, because they don't have to tell, but reporters have kind of gleaned this from them, about $1 million a year for every man, woman, and baby.
Wow.
Everybody,
Wow.
it's like hitting the lottery.
Yeah.
It just rolls in. 93% unemployment voluntary.
Yeah.
Voluntary.
Yeah.
They don't have to work. Now they're going into neighborhoods around Minneapolis, and there's one neighborhood that's like a Native American neighborhood.
Yeah.
And it's like an Indian Hill of Cincinnati, a very high.
Like they got the revenue now and they can buy them.
They have cars. They're living like Jerry Springer lives.
Oh, my word.
Well, that's just
Well,
disgusting.
did I ever tell you about my tribe?
No, what's your tribe?
This
Oh,
can't go
yeah.
well.
yeah.
It's not going to go well, so I'm going to
No,
stop.
you stop right there. Yeah.
We're sorry in advance.
I
We
need to think this
apologize.
through before I talk.
And
Look at you learning.
that is amazing.
Look at you.
But anyway, I think it's a great
It's nice to
ending
see.
of
The
story.
general story is really nice
Of that
to see.
tribe. And by
Yeah.
the way, there are some tribes,
That are
because I
still
kind of
suffering,
dug
yeah.
into this, I got curious about it, In some tribes that even have casinos, the casino business has peaked and is starting to dip a bit. In this tribe, the Shakopee tribe, I'll just tell you one last thing. This is amazing. They give away millions every year to other tribes and to other charities. They're diversifying phenomenally. They have purified water. They have, they're just into all sorts of businesses to make sure that their businesses keep growing. Very intelligent tribal leadership. And God bless them, finally, somebody, hit it, and they got the buffalo back. And
You should see if you could get someone on, like a representative on the podcast. That
They
would be
probably
an
could.
interesting conversation.
It would be.
I'd love
It
to
would be.
pick their brain. That's
so,
amazing.
and you saw, you saw the casino, and if you looked around, the reservation
I was
land.
hosting Price is Right. What I saw, refrigerators,
Yes.
And a brand new car.
and a brand new car.
brand new car.
Yeah, someone won it. Come on down. You know what's great? Because the people there, each audience is a new audience, so I can do the same jokes.
How? Okay, but
Now, you understand you can't do that at the podcast
But I
because
was
these
gonna say,
people come
hold
back
on
and they
here,
listen in again.
because
Yeah.
you do the same joke every week.
Yeah.
Here. It's the same
I do.
people.
Well, those are the only jokes I know.
Hey, comment real fast on the Oscars the other night.
Oh, well, you mean when they got the winners wrong?
The biggest award
Well,
of the night.
I said, oh my gosh, this really is America, where the one that gets the most votes isn't announced the winner.
Oh, there you go.
I said, because all night they're talking about Trump, and it really was like Trump,
Yeah.
But no, it was, what was really cool about it, though? I mean, I enjoyed watching it. I love movies, etc. But what was really cool about it is you have all these drop-dead gorgeous people, and they're always performing with everything taken care of. They've got the script. If they mess up a line, they have another take. The lighting is perfect. In other words, everything about their lives as it's presented to the public is just perfect. Mm-hmm. They do their lines. And now all of a sudden, for a moment, we saw them as actual human beings with no script. What do? Flustered like every one of us normal people. I mean, it was kind of cool to see them sweating up there and go through that. And it wasn't anything major.
Right.
It wasn't life or death. It was who gets the award. But it was kind of cool to see, all these stars that we treat as gods, that, hey, wait a second. That's exactly how we would have acted if we were up there going, oh, my God, I don't know. I read this card. No, you read it. It wasn't my fault. It was
Same thing at the company convention award ceremony.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
So it was perfect. And so it's a one. I feel sorry for Moonlight because no one's going to remember that they actually won.
I know.
It was kind of lost, and at the end they came up there, but the story by then
big moment
was the flub.
Yeah.
So it was.
I always
cool
just
to see.
say, line, please. But no, Jerry, let me ask you something.
Yes, Gene.
Attorney General Jeff Sessions, he laid out a proclamation shortly after taking his seat as the new Attorney General. And talk about it a little bit, flesh it out a little bit, and give your take on it.
Yeah, I was outraged, but it's easy to get me outraged. Okay, Jeff Sessions finally gets confirmed as U.S. Attorney General. It's his first week in office. For all I know, it may have been his first day, second day. With all the things going on in America, with all the problems we have in the whole area of justice, what is the first thing he does? They reverse President Obama's policy, federal policy, that you go to the bathroom that you're comfortable with. Jeff Sessions and the administration reversed that so that now, in terms of federal policy, you go to the bathroom that is consistent with your gender on your birth certificate. In other words, if you're transgender, too bad. Whatever you were when you were born, that's the bathroom you have to go to. And I start thinking several things. First, what a pig of a human being that you would do that to, let's say, teenagers, transgender teenagers. We all remember being teenagers. Even if everything is, quote, normal and just like most people are, any teenager, when they first, go through puberty or whatever and you start dealing with your own sexuality, that's kind of a confusing and scary time. And, you're worried about yourself and, am I developing like everybody else is? And you're shy about it. And, one day you want to act like a grown-up and the next day you're a child crying again. I mean, this is tough times for anybody. Imagine what it must be like for a teenager to face the issue that I see what I look like in a mirror in terms of my body parts, but that's not me. I have the parts of a man, but I'm really a woman. Or vice versa. What does that teenager go through? It is not a coincidence that over 35% of all transgender teens have contemplated suicide. I'll say that again. Over 35% of transgender teens have thought about suicide. Gosh, this is tough. You're a parent of a kid like that. And what this poor kid has to deal with in this society. And now, the chief law enforcement official of the United States of America, by God, let's get those teens. Because, you got to go to the bathroom several times a day. Well, if you're my age, every 20 minutes. But you got to go to the bathroom. So every time that kid has to go to the bathroom in school, the kid's got to face that issue. Reminded again, I don't exactly fit in. Why am I being bullied? Why are they making fun of me? Just as a human being, how did Jeff Sessions go home that night and talk with his family? Hey, honey, what was your day like? We got those teens, by God. I'll make sure they go to the bathroom of their birth. Jeez, doesn't he have a wife or someone in his family that can say, will you stop it? You're making a fool of yourself. Just don't be like that. Have something in your person that cares about another human being and what they have to deal with. So they then say, well, think about everybody else. They're uncomfortable. Oh, stop it. First of all, the rule doesn't even make any sense. Why? If you were born a boy and now you've become a girl and you want to go into the ladies' bathroom. In the ladies' bathroom, they're all stalls anyway. So what's the difference what you are in the stall? You shouldn't be looking in there to the guy next to you. That's the first thing. Let's reverse it. You were born a girl and now you become a guy. Well, if you haven't yet had the surgery, you can't go to the urinal anyway. So again, you're going into the stall. And if you had the surgery, then what's the difference? Are we now all going to have to show, before we take a leak, we have to have papers with us as to when we got this penis? And what are we going to do? We're going to start putting people, outside the bathrooms to make sure? And the humiliation people have to face? Again, be a teenager again. You know how difficult that is for everybody. Imagine these poor kids. It is such a mean-spirited, for no purpose. This rule has no purpose. How is it going to make anybody's life better? Does this solve poverty? Does this solve health? Does this make us safer? Is this going to save us from terrorists? Oh, but if there's a transgender person in the bathroom, my kid won't be safe. Hey, how do you know your kid's safe? When you go into a men's room, how do you know the guy next to you isn't gay? And a pervert, maybe. Or heterosexual and a pervert. I mean, the whole thing is stupid. None of it makes sense. Now, what is their final? Now, when you challenge the administration on this, or any politician that supported this mean-spirited rule, they will say, well, I'm not really against transgender. I just think it's something the states should deal with. States' rights? Well, wait a second. First of all, what difference is it to the teenager if some politician in Washington makes the rule or some politician in Columbus? I mean, what's the difference? What political entity made the rule? We shouldn't let states discriminate. Isn't that what the 14th Amendment is about? Yep. This isn't about bathrooms any more than lunch counters, any more than the civil rights movement was about lunch counters. The reality is there are people that just want to make a statement that we don't want these people to exist. We don't want to live in a world with transgender. And this is what I don't get. It's like our birth is a miracle. And the day you have your baby, anything could be off kilter. And we don't make fun of anything that is wrong at a kid's birth if it has to do with their heart, with their eyes, with their ears, with their lungs. We immediately say, oh my God, get them into Children's Hospital or do whatever we have to do. And yet, if what is wrong at birth, if the aberration at birth has something to do with your sexuality or your sexual organs, that's a crime? That's a kid we're not going to care about? That's why this doesn't make any sense. And why do we just put up with it? I mean, if you ever see Jeff Sessions, you let him know what you're thinking about this. That's just it has nothing to do with politics. Be a Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative, it has nothing to do with that. It's being a decent human being and facing a transgender kid and having no empathy to what that kid is going through, and you're going to stand out there and say, you're going to that bathroom. Screw you, Sessions.
I love you so much, Jerry. That
Yep. That was a good one, Jerry.
Oh, shit, I got to go to the bathroom.
Damn it, you got me all teary-eyed, you got me all emotional, and you ruined everything. You just ruined everything.
I just can't let it go.
Well, we've got
excellent.
Crystal Peterson coming in with the band, and that's Crystal Peterson and the Queen City Band. And there are, let me count them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow. So let's hear it for Crystal. We're going to ask them to start off with their first song, which is called Indoctrinate. That's right. Correct? Yes. And then we're going to chat with you on the other side if we could.
Awesome.
So here we go. Crystal Peterson and the Queen City Band.
Did you hear about the 2 guys that stole the calendar?
No.
They each got 6 months.
Hey,
Have you ever been on an elevator?
yeah. No. Let me mark that. That's a good one. Let me tell you, you're going to hear that about 12 times.
Yep.
Yeah.
At least.
sorry. Why can't they live and look within to see? Tell me why can't they just see over and over they're saying that love is blind and all you need's a savior to wash away all of the hurt and feel that on your knees frustrated, 'cause you're naked, son.
Hey, Crystal, introduce the group real fast, would you please?
Sure, yeah. Behind me is the bassist of the band, Ben Franks. Beside me here is Stephen Kuffner, the guitarist. Colin Thompson on trombone. Brian Gilronan on saxophone. Back behind everybody here is Jeff Rickles on hand drums and percussion. And behind me is my husband and the drummer, Daniel Peterson.
Hey, Crystal, real fast.
Yeah.
We want you to do another song. You're going to do a song called Wonderful, correct?
Yes,
These are original songs that
Yes.
you guys have done.
Yes.
What's the backstory on the band? How did this 7-member group form?
Well, we were all friends beforehand.
And you're from the Cincinnati area, would
Yeah,
you say?
all of us
Okay.
are. We're either from Cincinnati or from the Kentucky area, too.
This
So
region.
we're kind of on both sides of the river. But we were all friends before, and I had been on the road for 3 years with a jazz bassist and really was inspired by him. His name is Victor Wooten, and I love to talk to people about Vic because he's a wonderful, really role model for many musicians and really an inspiration. So I was the lead singer for his band for about 3 years, and I really was inspired to go back and do something of my own. And when I started thinking about that, I went, well, you know, what better than to create something with your friends who you know have the same heart as you, and explore the world of art and music together and learn together. And that's how this was born. And we've been doing this now for almost 3 years. And it's been a real success on a personal level. And we've had some ups and downs, but, you know,
Every band does, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But we feel like our heart is really remaining.
That's how we started this podcast. I wanted to do something with my friends. I couldn't find any, so I got Gene. But it was just...
Hey, did you hear about the guy that two guys that stole a calendar? Yeah, they each got 6 months.
There it is.
Hey, do the song Wonderful for us, will you?
Sure,
Crystal
absolutely.
Peterson and the Queen City Band.
Thanks. When I think about your love, I get weak in my knees. I just cannot stand when you are near. You are beautiful, I'm overcome with tears. being in your love. What you did for me, your wisdom deep, and wide open are your arms to me. I can hear freedom ring, and your presence is right here. I can feel it, I can feel it. Oh, you are wonderful, wonderful, so wonderful. Your love is to me, your love makes me see. Your living love, I am different now that your love has come around. I know that with you I can do anything. Our love will conquer all. You are so come near me. Your love is to me, your love makes me see.
Wonderful. You guys are a real treat. We love it so much, we're bringing you back for the next episode. Hey, can you take us out on this one on the old spiritual Down by the Riverside?
Absolutely.
All right, Jerry Springer's going to jump in on the second verse.
This will end your career. You might as well start packing up now.
It was a good run, I'm sure, guys. It was a good run.
Jeez, I've never done it with such a company.
I know. There's no way you're going to do this one.
Yeah, there's no way.
Good job. Good luck, Jerry.
Well, we have
To
a
make you look good.
There we go.
That's right.
we do have a backup. We're the Elevator Comics.
Oh, that's right.
Also, there's an edit button.
Yeah.
Get a sax on that chair.
Down by the Riverside.
Oh.
Holy cow.
I'm gonna lay down my burdens down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna lay down my burdens down by the riverside. I'm gonna study. Oh no, oh, I ain't gonna study one no more. Ain't gonna study one no more. Ain't gonna study one no more. I ain't gonna study one no more. Ain't gonna study one no more. Ain't gonna study one no more. Jerry, take it away.
I'm gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside. I said, down by the riverside. Oh yeah, down by the riverside. I'm gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside. Down by the riverside.
Everybody sing! I ain't gonna study
war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more.
no more, no more, no more.
get the whole band on the elevator?
I hope so.
Hey, let's take a quick 10. How about it? And then let's do it again.